In this video, we will see how to download the latest version of DANEO Control Software application and update the firmware for DANEO 400 hardware using the DANEO Control Software application. In order to check the possibility of latest version availability of DANEO Control Software application, there are different methods available. If you are an existing user of DANEO Control Software application, for sure you might install already one of the DANEO Control software application that can be easily reachable from Omicron folder from the start menu. So we go to the Omicron folder. There we can see the check for DANEO control updates option. So before we go for this option, make sure that we have the internet connection active on our PC, either with a Wi-Fi option or USB tethering or intranet or LAN connection. By opening this, we can check the latest version possibility. So at the moment, I have installed the previous version of DANEO Control Software application on our PC, which is 4.22 version. So the existing version can be easily verified by opening the DANEO Control Software application. So here we have in the top right the question mark icon. By selecting that, we can select the About option. There we can see the version number of the existing software application. That shows us 4.22. We can also check the firmware for the DANEO 400 hardware from the device link software application. So the device link software also installed together when we install the DANEO control software application. So here we do see 4.060045, which is a firmware part of the release of 4.22 Omicron DANEO control software application. So now we are going to update both software application, which is a DANEO control to manage the DANEO 400 hardware application, and we also can see the DANEO 400 firmware version history post the firmware update. So we close this application for now. And the other way to know the latest version of DANEO control software application update, we can go to the Omicron customer portal area, which is very easy. We can also reach the Omicron customer portal from the Omicron webpage. In the top right, there is a login option. So that's also easiest way. And you can also register in case if you do not have the Omicron customer portal access with Omicron tested serial number, you can able to register easily. So I have an access already. So I will use the existing username and password details to log in. So on the dashboard, the recently released firmwares and the software application and news and application notes, training details, and short videos are accessible. So in our case, we are looking for the latest version of software application of DANEO. Then we can select the 3 lines in the top right and go for the software overview. So by scroll down, we can reach the DANEO control software application. Going for additional information, we can understand there is a newer version of DANEO control software application. That's a 4.30. This can be downloadable manually from this level. So by downloading the right software application that is compatible for the operating system, we can further install it manually. And we can also reach the what's new document from the down, and these are the main features that are part of the newer version. Basically, the 61869-9 feature has been added to the newer version of DANEO 400 firmware, also the software application as a DANEO control, and some of the improvements related to the PTP and edition 2.1 of 650 support also added part of this recent release, and the SEL improvements also part of the newer version. So it's highly recommended to update the latest version of DANEO Control Software application and update the firmware for the DANEO 400 hardware application to get the maximum benefit for our application testing using DANEO 400 and DANEO Control Software application. So let us download the software by clicking the next option. So you can provide the username password to download the software from this level. By providing the right username and password, we can further continue with the downloading of the newer version of DANEO Control software application. So the DANEO Control software application is used to manage on the DANEO 400 hardware for our requirement to monitor the signal and testing the different applications related to conventional and digital substation environment. Depending on the internet speed on your PC, the downloading time takes some minutes. And it's also important to manage the Ethernet interface of DANEO 400 hardware. So the Ethernet interface can be managed from the device link software. So the device link software installed together when we install the DANEO Control software application. So here in the device link software application, I do see two different access point of same DANEO. We can see the serial number is same, and two different access points are available here in the device link. One is LAN A, another one is Ethernet access point. So this is a front interface of the DANEO 400 hardware. So in the left side communication board, we see three different access points. So the LAN A and LAN B is recommended to use for the different redundant network configuration that we have in our substation, like PRP and HSR. And in the down, there is a control port. So download is completed. So basically, I have connected my PC to the Ethernet fiber switch, where the port A of the DANEO 400 Ethernet interface and the control port of the Ethernet interface is connected to the same switch. So that's why we do see two active connection. So, and the IP address can be easily manageable by selecting each Ethernet interface. We can define the static IP address. Also, the DHCP protocol is also supported on the DANEO 400. We can able to flexibly manage the IP address, and we can even disable the access point from the DANEO Control software application. And we can able to even enable tap mode when there is a HSR connection requirement is required. So let's go for update options. The currently installed software application will be updated. So the back side, we see the overall progress. What exactly happening? Some of the supporting softwares also installed together with the DANEO Control Software application. Also, the newer version of DANEO Control software application deploy the image file, which is the firmware file which need to be used to update from the DANEO Control software application to the real hardware. That's DANEO 400. And there is another access point also possible to use, which is a USB for the direct connection to manage the DANEO 400 hardware from the DANEO Control Software installed PC. And the binary inputs and the analog inputs are flexibly managed in the DANEO Control Software application. So the inputs that we do see here, the 10 numbers of inputs are flexibly manageable, and the outputs are also possible to extend using the extension hardware EXB1. The installation is about to complete. The post-processing is happening. So the device link is the supporting software, as I said before, to manage the IP address for the Ethernet interfaces that are connected from the testing PC to the DANEO 400 hardware. So the Ethernet cable can be connected directly from the testing PC to the DANEO 400, or we can use the Ethernet fiber switches in between. But the point is, we should have the same range of IP address to associate the device from the testing PC. So I have kept the same IP segment on my PC Ethernet interface. That's why I do see the green color indication. So there is another device in my network and which is having a different IP range that is not added to the network adapter on my PC. That's why we do see red color indication. In case if you would like to change it, and we can able to define the right access point details that we have added on our PC adapter. For example, if you had 192.168.10.99, then apply, and we should be able to see green color indication. That means all the IP range are same. So on my PC, the IP address range is 192.168.10.68 or 78 something. So basically, both the site and the IP address configuration setting should be same. In case the network adapter is having automatic IP address, then the option in the device link also the same. In case if you are using the static IP address on your PC network interface, then we should have the similar IP range. That's the whole point here. The update is almost done. The post-processing of DANEO Control Software application is about to finish. So the update is successfully done. So we just see an option to select close option in the down. So further we can select the start menu, type the DANEO Control application and open it. So we know that the IP address range is same from the Omicron device link software. Then we are good to go to use the DANEO Control Software application. In the top right, we can just check the about information. So we do see here the version details, the 4.30, which is the latest version that we have updated just now. And further, we can select the acquisition option to configure the DANEO 400. It's also allow us to update the firmware from the main menu. So under the available devices, we do see the Omicron DANEO 400 hardware application that's available here. By double clicking the DANEO, we do see here it's added, and it also recommends us to update the firmware. So that means the DANEO 400 at the moment is having the older version of firmware running on it. So the device link software application help us to know the firmware version. So we do see here the 4.06.0045. This we are going to update it now. So by selecting the firmware update, we do see the newer image that is deployed post installation of the newer version of DANEO Control Software application, and the image is selected from the default directory where we do deploy the firmware files, the .image file type that install together when we install the latest version of DANEO Control Software application. So we just need to check by default it will be enabled. We can go for the start option. So it takes few seconds to complete the firmware update, and we can see the newer version in the DANEO Control software application that is installed from the Omicron device link software application. So now the DANEO is restarting post update, and it is connected, and it automatically connects. So we need to make sure we have the LD connection from the PC to the device. And it's reconnected, and the firmware has been updated to the latest version image. So this is how we update the firmware for the DANEO 400 hardware from the DANEO Control Software application. So in case if you are going to update manually, then you can also do that from Tools section, Tools menu. There's option to firmware update, and they can also re-update the firmware in case if you would like to apply the same firmware and you wanted to bring back the firmware to the previous version, and then you want to reproduce something with the older version, then you can also do that by installing the other older version of DANEO Control. But it's I recommended to use the latest version of DANEO Control software application to get the maximum benefit. That's all in this video. In case if you have more information required about DANEO 400, you can feel free to contact Omicron Technical Support from the Omicron webpage or from the Omicron customer portal, and we will be happy to support you related to the queries that you have for DANEO 400 hardware application. So from the support section, there is a technical support menu that you can reach the different support line emails that can be used to raise queries related to the DANEO 400 hardware software application, and responsible technical support engineer will be happy to support you. That's all. Thank you. Take care. Bye bye.